Hey everyone, welcome to Daily English, your quick and easy way to learn English every day. From useful phrases to fun grammar tips. It was a bright morning in the small town of Willowbrook. The sun was shining, the birds were singing, and Emma woke up with a happy smile. Today was her 5th wedding anniversary. She turned to look at her husband, Daniel, who was still asleep beside her. His hair was messy and his face looked calm. Emma felt her heart fill with love. She whispered softly, "Happy anniversary, my love." But Daniel didn't move. Emma smiled and got out of bed quietly. She wanted to surprise him. She went to the kitchen, put on her apron, and started cooking his favorite breakfast, pancakes with strawberries and honey. The smell filled the whole house. While she cooked, she remembered the day they got married. She could still see Daniel's nervous smile when he said, "I do." She could hear her mother crying tears of joy. And she could still feel the warmth of Daniel's hands holding hers. Those memories made her heart beat faster. Today, she wanted to make new memories, beautiful ones. When Daniel finally came into the kitchen, Emma smiled brightly. "Good morning, darling," she said cheerfully. "Do you know what day it is?" Daniel yawned, rubbed his eyes, and said, "Monday?" Emma's smile slowly faded. "Yes, it's Monday, but it's also something special." Daniel poured himself a cup of coffee and checked his phone. "I have a meeting at 9 a.m. I'll be home late tonight, so don't wait for me." Emma stood there quietly, holding the pan. He really didn't remember. Her voice trembled a little. Do you remember what day it is today?" Daniel looked confused. Your friend's birthday?" She shook her head gently. "No, Daniel. It's our anniversary." There was silence. Daniel blinked and frowned. "Oh, right. Sorry, Em. I've just been so busy with work lately." He gave a small smile, kissed her forehead quickly, and said, "I'll make it up to you, okay?" Then he grabbed his briefcase and left. The door closed, and Emma stood in the kitchen, staring at the pancakes that were getting cold. She sat down at the table, her heart heavy. He forgot. All morning, Emma tried to stay busy. She cleaned the house, watered the plants, and did the laundry. But her mind kept going back to that moment. They used to be so close. They used to laugh, talk, and share everything. But lately, Daniel seemed distant, lost in his work, his phone, his thoughts. That evening, Emma set the dinner table with candles and flowers. She wore the same dress she had worn on their first date. She waited for him. Hours passed. The food got cold. The candles melted down. Still, Daniel didn't come home. Finally, around midnight, she heard the sound of his car. She quickly stood up, hoping for a smile or a hug. But Daniel walked in, looking tired and distracted. "Sorry, Em. The meeting went late. I grabbed dinner with the team." Emma looked at him, at the man she loved so deeply, and felt tears rising in her eyes. She whispered, "You forgot me today, Daniel." He sighed and hugged her gently. "I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you tomorrow." But deep inside, Emma felt something break. Because sometimes love doesn't fade in one big moment. It fades quietly, one forgotten day at a time. For the next few days, Emma tried to act normal. She smiled when Daniel came home. She cooked his favorite meals. She even asked him about work. But something inside her had changed. Daniel was always busy. He came home late,
ate quickly, and spent most of his evenings on his laptop or his phone. Sometimes he didn't even notice when she was talking. One evening, Emma sat beside him on the couch. He was typing an email, eyes fixed on the screen. "Daniel," she said softly, "can we talk?" He looked up for a moment. "Sure, what's up?" "I miss us," she said. "We don't spend time together anymore. We used to talk about everything, remember?" Daniel gave a small laugh. "Yeah, I know. Things are just crazy right now at work, Em. Once this project is over, I'll have more time. I promise." Emma nodded, but her heart didn't believe it. That promise, "I'll have more time," was something she had heard too many times before. That night, when Daniel fell asleep, Emma sat by the window and looked at the stars. She remembered when Daniel used to sit with her like this. They used to make wishes together. Now, she was alone with her wishes. The next morning, she decided to do something different. She joined a local art class. Emma had always loved painting, but had stopped after marriage. Now she thought maybe it was time to bring that joy back. Her art teacher, Mrs. Lane, was a kind old woman with a gentle smile. "Welcome, Emma," she said. "Here, we don't just paint pictures. We paint feelings." Emma smiled shyly. "Then I think I have many feelings to paint." As the days passed, Emma started enjoying her time in class. She painted sunsets, flowers, and sometimes, without realizing, lonely faces that looked a lot like her own. At home, Daniel barely noticed her change. He would ask, "How was your day?" while scrolling through his phone. One day, she showed him a painting she had done. A small house under a gray sky with only one light shining inside. "Do you like it?" she asked hopefully. He glanced at it for a second and said, "Yeah, nice. You're really getting good at this." Then he turned back to his computer. Emma put the painting down quietly. That single light in the painting, she realized, was her hope, and it was fading, little by little. A week later, Emma went shopping alone. She stopped by a cafe near the art studio and saw something that made her heart ache. Through the window, she saw Daniel sitting inside, with a woman. They were laughing. She had never seen him laugh like that in months. Emma stood frozen for a moment. Then she slowly walked away, her heart beating fast, her hands shaking. That evening, she said nothing to Daniel. He came home, tired as usual, and said, "Busy day again. Just meetings, meetings, meetings." Emma smiled weakly. "I'm sure." But that night, she couldn't sleep. She kept seeing Daniel smile. The one he used to give her, now shared with someone else. Was she losing him? Or had she already lost him? The next morning, she looked in the mirror and barely recognized herself. Her eyes were tired, and her face looked pale. She whispered, "Maybe he really forgot me. Not just the anniversary, but me." She took a deep breath and said quietly, "If he doesn't see me anymore, maybe I need to see myself again."
The next few days felt heavy for Emma. She went to her art class, smiled at her teacher, and painted quietly. But inside her heart, there was a storm. She couldn't stop thinking about what she saw. Daniel sitting with another woman, laughing, smiling, forgetting the world. Who was she? Was it just a meeting, or something more? Every time she closed her eyes, those questions returned. That evening, when Daniel came home, Emma watched him carefully. He hung his jacket, loosened his tie, and opened his laptop, just like every night. "Daniel?" she said gently. He looked up. "Yeah? Can we go out this weekend? Maybe dinner or a movie? Just the two of us?" Daniel hesitated. This weekend's tough, Em. There's a work dinner Saturday night, and I'll probably need to rest Sunday." She smiled weakly. "I see." He noticed her disappointment and said quickly,
But hey, next weekend for sure. Emma nodded. She didn't say what she was really thinking. There's always a next weekend with you, but never a today. On Friday, Daniel left for work early. Emma decided she couldn't keep living in doubt. She didn't want to be the kind of woman who spied or accused without reason, but she needed to know the truth. So she walked to the cafe she had seen him at, the same small place near his office. The waitress recognized him right away. "Oh, you're Daniel's wife," the waitress said with a smile. "He comes here often with his coworker Claire. They're such a fun pair." Emma forced a small smile. "Yes," she said quietly. "They must be close." The waitress nodded. "Oh, yes, always talking and laughing. They look like best friends." Emma thanked her and left. Her heart felt like it was breaking, slowly but deeply. That night, she waited for Daniel again. He came home late, much later than usual. She said softly, "How was work?" "Exhausting. I had to meet some clients with Claire." Emma froze for a second, but then asked, "You seem to enjoy working with her." Daniel looked up, surprised. "Claire? Oh yeah, she's great. Very smart. We make a good team." There was a small spark of pride in his voice, a spark she hadn't heard in a long time when he spoke to her. Emma nodded slowly. "That's nice." But after that, the silence between them was louder than ever. A few days later, Emma's art class held a small exhibition. Each student displayed their favorite painting. Emma's painting showed a woman standing in the rain, holding an umbrella, while the man beside her walked away. Mrs. Lane looked at it and said softly, "That's a sad story, Emma." Emma smiled sadly. "Yes, it's about forgetting and being forgotten." Daniel didn't come to the exhibition. He said he had to work late again. So Emma stood there alone, watching other couples, smiling, taking pictures, holding hands. When she came home, Daniel was asleep on the couch, the TV still on. She turned it off and looked at him, this man she had loved for years. He looked peaceful, but distant, like a stranger who had once been someone she knew. She whispered to herself, "I don't know who you are anymore, Daniel, but maybe you don't know who I am either." That night, she dreamed of the day they first met, at the library. He had dropped a book, and she had picked it up for him. He smiled, and that smile had changed her life. Now that same smile belonged to someone else. When she woke up, her heart felt heavy, but her mind was clear. She whispered, "If love has left, maybe it's time I stop waiting at the door." The weeks passed slowly. Emma continued her art classes and started spending more time with her friends. She laughed sometimes, painted often, and even went for long walks in the park near her home. But at home, the distance between her and Daniel grew. Daniel was still busy with work, still smiling at Claire in ways Emma could see, and still forgetting small things that once mattered, like her favorite tea or the way she liked her pillow fluffed. One evening, Emma cooked a special dinner, hoping to talk to him. She lit candles and played soft music. The table looked beautiful. When Daniel came home, he barely looked at her. "Hey, dinner's ready," Emma said softly. He glanced at the table and nodded. "Good, I'm starving." He ate quickly, without looking up. Emma watched him, her heart heavy. She remembered all the evenings when they used to talk about dreams, laugh about small things, and hold each other close. Now he seemed like a guest in his own home. After dinner, she said quietly, "Daniel, can we talk?" He sighed. "Can it wait? I'm exhausted." Emma shook her head. "No, we need to talk. I can't keep living like this. Daniel rubbed his eyes. I love you. You know that. I'm just tired. Work is stressful. Claire is, well, she's just a coworker. Don't think too much. Emma felt a tear slide down her cheek. You say you love me, but your actions, they say something else. You've forgotten me, Daniel. You've forgotten us. Daniel looked uncomfortable. I didn't forget. I'm just busy. Things will get better soon. I promise. Emma's voice became stronger. Promises are not enough anymore. I feel alone in this marriage. I feel invisible. Daniel looked down, silent. Emma took a deep breath. Daniel, I think maybe we need some time apart. To think, to see if we really want to be together. Daniel's face turned pale. Time apart? I don't want that. I don't want to lose you. Emma's voice softened. I don't want to lose you either, Daniel, but I also don't want to lose myself. The next day, Emma packed a small bag and went to her sister's house for a few days. For the first time in weeks, she felt free. She cooked her favorite meals, read books she loved, and painted without thinking about Daniel. She realized something important. Love is not just words. Love is attention, care, and being present. And when love fades, no amount of words can bring it back. During her stay, Emma met her old friend Sarah. Sarah had been divorced for 2 years, but she was happy, strong, and independent. You deserve to be loved, Emma, Sarah said one afternoon while they drank tea. Not just remembered sometimes or taken for granted. You deserve someone who sees you every day, not just on special occasions. Emma nodded, tears in her eyes. I know, but leaving Daniel feels so hard. We shared so much. Memories, dreams, our life together. Sarah smiled gently. That's life. Memories stay, but life moves forward. You don't have to let someone else's neglect take your happiness. Emma thought about that. She realized that she had been living for Daniel, waiting for him to notice her, hoping he would come back. Now she wanted to live for herself. She picked up her paintbrush and started a new painting. A bright sunrise over a calm sea. She smiled. For the first time in months, she felt hope. That night, she called Daniel. Daniel, I'm at my sister's. I need some space, she said calmly. There was silence on the line. I understand, Daniel said quietly. I didn't realize how much I hurt you. Please, think about us. Emma nodded softly. I will, but I need to think about myself, too. She hung up and looked out the window at the stars. She whispered, Maybe love fades, but I won't let myself fade too. Weeks passed, and Emma spent her time at her sister's house, focusing on herself. She painted more, smiled more, and even started helping at a small local art gallery. Every morning she woke up and felt a little stronger. Every evening she went to bed feeling a little lighter. Daniel called sometimes, checking if she was okay. Emma answered politely, but didn't rush back. She realized that healing takes time, and love, real love, can't exist when one person feels invisible. One sunny afternoon, Emma went to the park with her sketchbook. She sat under a big oak tree and began drawing the lake. As she sketched, a young woman approached her. Excuse me, the woman said. I love your painting. Do you sell your art? Emma smiled. Not yet, but I've been thinking about it. The woman introduced herself as Maya, a gallery owner. She invited Emma to display her paintings in a local exhibition. Emma's heart raced with excitement. For the first time, she felt proud of herself.
Not because Daniel noticed her, but because she had discovered her own talent and strength. That evening, Emma called Daniel. "Daniel," she said softly, "I want to tell you something." "Yes?" Daniel's voice sounded nervous. "I'm grateful for the years we shared, but I've realized that I need to live my life for me now. I can't wait for you to remember me. I need to remember myself." There was silence on the line. I understand, Emma," Daniel said finally. "I'm sorry. I really am. I didn't mean to hurt you." Emma smiled softly. "I know, but it's time to move forward. I hope you find happiness too." She hung up and felt a strange sense of peace. The next morning, Emma visited the art gallery. Her paintings were displayed beautifully. People admired her work and asked her questions. As she watched someone admire her sunrise painting, the one she had painted when she decided to find herself, Emma whispered, "This is just the beginning." She realized that life could still be beautiful, even after heartbreak. She didn't need to be forgotten by someone else to forget herself. Emma had discovered something important. Happiness comes from within. Love is beautiful, but self-love is stronger. That night, she sat by the window, looking at the stars. She smiled. She was free, strong, and ready for whatever life would bring next. Her heart felt full, not because Daniel remembered her, but because she had finally remembered herself.
Thanks for watching Daily English. If you learned something new today, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more quick English lessons every day. See you tomorrow.